From afternoon tea in the UK to morning coffee in the US, welcome to Foodies Across the Pond with Jane Raven and Lisa Siegel.
Good evening, Lisa.
Hello and good morning, Jane.
How are you?
I'm good. How are things in the UK today? I love
Things are good. Yes, it's mandatory. I've got to bring a mug, a lovely Emma Bridgewater mug.
I love it.
Things are okay. It's raining a lot. Getting a bit bored with it now, but that's Britain for you, isn't it?
Well, it's the Pacific Northwest over here too. We've got gray clouds and it was rainy all day yesterday. I'm fingers crossed for the weekend. It's supposed to be in the 80s, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Yes, meant to be warm over here as well, but I can't believe we've fallen into the British trap of talking about the weather and we're only a minute in.
Oh my gosh. Okay, no more weather.
I don't know if everybody's caught up with us, but last week's video was a chat with Claire Trumper, who runs Trumper's Teas in the UK, in Herefordshire in the UK, my home county. And she's a marvellous woman and she knows all things tea. So if you've got a passion for a cup of tea, go and watch it because you'll learn so much. I learned so much and I'm a daily tea drinker.
I learned so much. And it's the episode right before this one. So you can go back that way or that way.
Anyway, but this is the second part of our chat. Yep. And it's not quite as serious as the first one, it has to be said, because it involves, if you're a little bit teetotal, you might want to switch off because it involves a little bit of alcohol. So
love that.
It's great fun and it was a really nice cocktail. I can vouch for that. And without further ado, should we just crack on with it? So this is part 2 of Claire Trumper on her booze cruise.
Love it. Here it is.
Okay, this is round 2, Lisa. You are gonna be so jealous of this because we're doing a cocktail. Right, okay, well, what have we got? What I wanted to show you, Jane, was that tea doesn't have to be boring, okay? And so, believe it or not, although that is a vodka bottle, obviously it doesn't look like vodka. No. So that's taken on the beautiful colour, actually, of your now favourite tea. Rooibos. Rooibos. Rooibos.
Rooibos. Can you see that? It's beautiful.
So, yes, I should have put it in a better bottle just to show you. So the beauty of tea is it infuses beautifully with alcohol. And the beauty is you've got decaffeinated alcohol. Oh yes, that's most important, isn't it? Yeah, no caffeine and alcohol. Yeah, this won't be keeping you up. No, of course not. So it's just a little trick I've learnt to try and infuse people with tea. So here we go. This is called a ginger sparkle. I learnt this little beauty a few years ago with Photopia. Let's try and get.
Okay, Photopia.
Sorry, Photopia. Yeah.
Yeah. Giving us hot tips. They're brilliant. They concentrate on food photography, don't they?
They do, and they're absolutely brilliant.
They're lovely people as well.
I think Becca probably designed this herself after many trials, but if she didn't, it's a jolly good one. So we take a measure, and as it's the morning, we'll do doubles. So
I'm such a lightweight as well.
Don't worry, you don't need to drink it, just taste it. So there's a measure there of infused vodka, rooibos vodka.
I'm going to go and get some rooibos.
Go and get some of the rooibos so you can make cocktails.
Yeah, well, and drink.
There's 2 of us, so we need 2, don't we? Otherwise it won't look good for the camera, will it? So, there we go. So it's a measure of that.
How much, when you infused it, how much did you, presumably this bottle was full?
My darling Gally Lunch, you're right. Yeah, that is actually probably quite strong. Yeah,
how much did you put in there? Rooibos.
We haven't even tried it yet. 4 teaspoons.
Okay, thank
you. For
you.
half an hour. Not for very long, otherwise it goes bitter.
And it just goes in cold?
Yeah.
Oh!
It's a splash of vermouth, a splash. Jamie Oliver style. Okay, or a glove.
A pouring of vermouth.
Yeah. It didn't have any, did you say agave syrup? Anyway.
Oh, right.
Agave is the C, isn't it?
So it's just a sugar syrup you can put
basically.
in
So I've just put sugar. And then a very, I like ginger. Do you like ginger?
Yeah, I love ginger.
Well, no, can't do too
Fresh
much.
ginger.
Fresh
grated.
ginger, grated. There we go. In there. Over a bed of ice, of course. We put the ice in earlier.
Put the lid on.
And then,
Lisa, put the lid on.
yeah, it's just a bit of a change. Back to the nightclub.
No, they're great. I did used to
Have a
drink
cocktail, did you know?
I did have a phase of
Like a shake.
oh, right, okay. Get ribbon going. Thank you.
Right.
Oh, I'm
Sorry,
so
you did have a
excited.
phase, you said. And I interrupted you.
No, dry martini and lemonade. That was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. Probably sounds a bit like Queen now, doesn't it?
Probably only about 16, because they used to serve anybody in those days.
The ice is a bit
Chunky,
chunky.
filling the gap.
Come on, you. So it can end up like Lisa's
Yeah,
cocktails in a minute.
careful.
Hold on.
That was the funny.
Oh dear. Let's try and break that down a bit more. So, as it is only the morning, we will... Oh, it's not going to, is it? It's alright, this is topped up with lemonade, so it's not... Sorry.
Rooibos. I'm Welsh
Oh,
as well. I
rooibos.
should be able to cope with this. Rooibos infused vodka, 4 teaspoons to a bottle this size, which is
I don't know.
out.
You just
A
judge it.
splash of vermouth,
Lots of ginger.
lots of ginger, sugar syrup,
Yeah,
and topped
Obviously
up
I
with
didn't make it.
lemonade.
yeah. Just see what you think. Oh, sorry.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, don't worry. Don't worry, folks. We're not drinking this. It's just a sampling. But we had to
Have I
make
got to
it.
slurp it?
Definitely not.
Oh,
Believe
so
me, you
good.
do not.
Try not to look
Oh,
too keen.
Be spitting that out. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for having
Thank you
me.
for coming over.
Cheers. We can see
Cheers,
the ginger.
everybody.
Cheers.
Lisa.
It's not bad for 11:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's nice. See, that's the trouble with that. That's really naughty because it doesn't taste alcoholic at all, does it?
I was just going to say that's probably too much lemonade. Do you think? Anyway,
That is good. Thank
so
you
tea
ever so much.
can be used in many different ways.
Well,
So, what did you think of that? Is what
Okay.
I'm going to say.
I love it. First of all, I love that you can't say rooibos. That is,
I know. It was really, really nice.
it's tricky. It's a little tricky word. It's a tricky one. I loved it. I loved how she put ginger in it as well. And I think that's a really great idea for cocktails.
Yeah.
Did you ever think of like ginger and minced ginger in a cocktail, which I thought was really clever. And thank you for the reminder to put the shaker lid.
Little. I love to name and shame. You know me. I'm pleased you enjoyed it.
You know,
It
I
was a
love
bit
it.
shorter and sweeter than the other one, but it was fun, wasn't it?
I love it. Well, I think it's so clever too, like to use a tea infusion, actually a fruit infusion, as we've learned when it comes to rooibos, a fruit infusion to make a cocktail because you know I love cocktails.
I have I'll keep it still so you can see what it is. A fruit infusion for my cocktail or my mocktail. I'm the killjoy. I'm the killjoy you invite to the party. I'm coming with a mocktail.
I think you know what? I feel like there are a lot of people that are maybe taking a little break from drinking or don't drink. I think a mocktail is always a great thing, especially with
Especially if you're driving.
Well, especially if you're driving. And if you have friends over that have kids, you're not going to serve them cocktails. It's nice to be able to make like one base and then you can make a mocktail, or you can easily add alcohol to make it a cocktail versus making a bunch of different drinks.
Yeah. But some of them, you know, if you go out to now we can go out again, they're so expensive mocktails, aren't they?
They really are, which is good. Silly because there's no alcohol in them. And that's defense.
It's all right if they're good, but if they're not so good, shall I tell you about my mocktail? Shall I tell you about my mocktail?
You go first on your mocktail. Tell us about your mocktail.
So I have used, I'll take some out of the packet so I'm not crumpling and rumpling. I've used Trumpa's tea, the one she mentioned, the rose hip and orange in the video that we did last week. And I don't know if you can see this. It's so dry. Can you see that?
Oh, I can a little bit more. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's so dry. Look, I've got a enamel plate here. I'm going to drop it. You can hear it.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So dry. But what I did was soaked a dessert spoon. That's what we call a dessert spoon.
Love that. I think we call that like a teaspoon here.
Oh, it's bigger than a teaspoon.
Bigger? Oh, okay. So like a tablespoon.
It's between a tablespoon and a teaspoon, because we like to make things difficult for ourselves in the UK. So we have a dessert spoon.
That.
So that dessert spoon, I put a dessert spoon of the tea infusion into about half a pint of water. And I don't know if you can see that because I'm trying to show you. That is it once it's been soaked. Chucking it all over my laptop. So that's a thing of beauty, actually. But yeah, that's what I did. And I don't know, I've got something else to tell you. I put it into a pan. I strained it after half an hour. I infused it for half an hour, put it into a saucepan. And normally I would just put sugar in. But you know, thinking about processed sugar, but I bought this the other day, which is organic coconut sugar. You ever heard of that?
I have heard of coconut sugar. You know, I've used coconut sugar a couple of times, but in the States, not all coconut sugar is made the same. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's beautiful. I want some.
Blow it off my laptop. Yeah. It smells very like dark muscovado sugar.
Oh gosh, okay.
Really nice. Yeah.
I with that molasses kind of smell.
But apparently it comes from the flower of the coconut plant.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, not from the actual flower, the bud of the flower. Sorry, I'm leaving you. Turning my back on you. Very rude. So I put some of that in instead. So it's given it a much darker colour. I'll put it in a jug so you can see the colour. So you can see, it's almost like a sort of brandy colour.
Oh, it does. It was really dark, like a really dark brown sugar too, like a very dark.
And that's gone down from half a pint, so you can see that it's reduced quite a bit, and it's so lovely, really nice. So in there, I've infused the fruit tea. I've reduced it down with only about a tablespoon of the coconut sugar. It's nice. And it's sort of unrefined sugar, isn't it? So it's ticking a box for getting rid of all those unrefined things in your life.
Right. Well, and
a little bit healthier.
You don't always have to use granulated sugar. And I love how when you were chatting with Claire, you were talking about agave syrup too.
Yes, yes. And actually, you know, you could get away with it with this because of course you have those it was interesting talking about the sugar that's added to fruit infusion teas.
It's true, exactly.
Which I really didn't have a clue about. So that was really educational.
All that unprocessed, you know, all that unprocessed.
We're ready to go. You'll have to excuse the camera. I got my camera all set up and I couldn't link it to the internet, so apologies for anybody watching. I got it all set out perfectly and it wasn't meant to happen. But we're okay. We're adaptable women.
Exactly. That's a gorgeous glass. Do you look how fancy this is?
Well, for me, it's alcoholic, won't it, in that? So
I love
I've got
it.
that. I'm going to put in a quick plug. Can you see? That's Instone Court apple juice. No, that apple juice is made literally about a mile from where my commercial kitchen is.
Oh my God, I love
so
that.
I'm just going to put in some Now this apple juice is quite sharp. I think it contains some Bramley apple in there. So it's got quite a tart element.
Oh, I like that though. Because sometimes apple cider, it can be too sweet and a really sweet.
No, it's not sweet at all.
I like that.
And I'm going to put in some of my syrup.
Oh, that looks cool.
How lovely that colour is. It's beautiful, isn't it? I'll come back in a minute. And then just to fool myself that it's alcoholic, I'm going to put some fizz in it, but I'm going to put an artisan tonic in it. So I'm going to...
Oh, gorgeous.
I know, I'm quite chuffed with this recipe, I have to say.
That looks gorgeous.
And just to finish it off, we have a little bit of garden mint attached to an edible flower, a little viola.
Okay. Oh, is it a violet?
Well, it's a viola, which is slightly smaller. So there we go. I'll have to take a photograph because if I tip it, I'll fuse.
Don't tip it over your computer.
Electricity. So yeah. Cheers, Lisa.
Gorgeous. Okay, well now that you've done your mocktail,
that's really nice. Yeah, I know I made it, but it's really nice.
Really refreshing too. I bet really refreshing for like a hot summer day. Great for party playing. You can probably, I think you can make a gorgeous, beautiful picture when you have friends over.
Absolutely. So it's apple juice, the syrup with the fruit infusion running through it. I use coconut sugar, so it's not sweet at all. It's got a really nice deep, you know, it's I don't know quite how to describe it, but I'm finding more and more with commercial sugars that have been refined, they're so claggingly sweet.
Yeah,
this is not.
It almost hurts your teeth when you have something like
that.
It like hurts your teeth.
In fact, I don't know about you. I don't even know if we might have discussed this already. I have actually started reducing. If I've got a recipe, I'll reduce the amount of sugar in it nowadays.
Always. Yeah, I do. Always.
Cheers.
Love it. Love it. Well, I will show everyone now my liquor, alcohol.
Never change a habit of a lifetime. Over to Lisa.
We've got the mocktail. Time for the cocktail. So what I did is I infused, and I did use a little bit of sugar, but I just reduced it and didn't have that much sugar in it. So instead of using, I did like a 1/4 cup of water to a 1/4 cup of sugar, brought it to a boil over the stove just to dissolve the sugar in it. And then I added, I will show you, I did chai. I did a little chai.
Brilliant.
And I'll show you what, so I love the way it smells. I mean, I'll throw a little
I have to say, I could just smell the chai. It's just so lovely.
It is. So here's, I mean, it's just,
I didn't think of doing that. That's so clever. Just tip them.
Just tip, that's all right. So that's the
me trying to go, look. I could have just done that.
You can tip it afterwards. I mean, you can show another angle of your gorgeous mocktail.
It's just could have told me, Jane. Just tip the screen.
Jane, tip the screen.
Okay, I will next time. Okay.
I use either just a tea infuser to put I put probably about a good tablespoon and a half into the simple syrup to infuse it. Then I added about like a teaspoon or 2 to my shaker. And then I also added some lemonade. I thought little orange bitters would be really delicious because you got that kind of similar kind of fruity, even though chai is a tea and not a fruit infusion. I thought the orange bitters would kind of like add a nice little background note. And then, because everyone knows how much I love gin. This is the Botanist. It's like one of my favorite gins. So
lovely bottle. Love the bottle.
Isn't it gorgeous? It's so pretty.
Obviously what's in it is pretty good as well, but that is so cool.
Yes, it's about time to get some new. It's what I love, small batch distilled gins. And I love gins that are like the more like clean, kind of cucumbery, versus pine. I don't want to taste like I'm eating pine needles when I'm drinking, which I feel like a lot of people who don't like gin, those are the kind of gins that they've tried. And gin, we could do a whole episode on gins, but well, you know.
Oh, yeah, we could, because there are so many. I've got one in the cupboard with mint in it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different like botanicals and different ways to make different flavors of gin. So anyway, so I threw some gin in, ice, and picked, because you and I think alike, I picked some fresh.
That's so weird. I'm going to pick mine out in my glass just to join you. Isn't that weird?
Fresh and mint right now. Oh my gosh, it's like going bananas. So I threw in some mint. Actually, I should back up. I muddled some mint first. So I did the mint first with a little bit of the chai infused simple syrup, and then just took a muddler, broke it up a little bit. Then I added the lemon.
A muddler?
So a muddler, if you don't have a muddler, like muddlers they're like flat, kind of flat, round, kind of, it looks like a wood version of a mortar and pestle. So you know, like giving you a mortar.
Like no, that's a new one on me. A gadget I haven't got. I'm slipping.
Well, back of a wooden spoon. Just across the, you're breaking up the herbs. Just back of a wooden spoon. It's super easy because you want to break up the mint so that's going to release all the flavor. So, and you can do the same thing, like a rosemary infused cocktail or a thyme infused cocktail. Any herbs you want to make sure that you muddle.
Release the oils.
Releasing the oils, releasing the flavors, and you're doing it in a shaker and then strain it, so you're not going to get bits of the herbs in your drink.
Okay.
And because it makes a really loud, obnoxious noise, I've already done this. So I gave it a really.
And you just didn't want to lose the lid on air again, did you?
And then,
I can't talk. I haven't got one, so it's all very well. I'm going to just hang on.
Oh yes, we'll look at. We'll both do.
There you go. Look, if we move across. No, the other way. The other way. Chink.
Cheers.
Cheers, Lisa.
I love that.
Just if anybody's, hanging on in there and watching.
Oh my gosh.
Mad woman as well.
So
cheers.
Good.
Enjoy.
Cheers. Yeah, it's lovely. It's light. It's refreshing. You can also, I do love a little sparkling, so you can add a little, a little ginger beer on here. I'm a big fan of ginger beer cocktails. Would be really nice. And it cuts through. It's so lovely. I love the gin with the ginger beer, with the fresh mint, with the lemonade, a little bit of the orange bitters. And you can also make this as a huge big pitcher.
Yes.
And leave the gin out.
Oh, especially with the ginger beer in it for the summer barbecue. That would be lovely.
So good.
Yes. So, if anybody has any ideas of their own, put them in the comments below.
Ideas. How are you guys using the tea? What are your recipes for tea infused cocktails and mocktails? And of course, like always, we'll put all the links we've talked about below. If you have any questions, reach out to us. You can make a comment below. And if you know anyone that would love to be featured on a future episode of Foodies Across the Pond.
Definitely. If you have any ideas for us, we're open to all sorts of ideas. We've got quite a lot of our own, but we'd love to hear yours. But we would really love you to go over there and hit the subscribe button, because that would be great, because that makes us so happy.
It's like you pulled up a seat at our table and joined us when you hit that subscribe button.
It is actually, isn't it? Because sometimes we worry that we are just talking to ourselves.
Exactly. You actually stop by, you've come inside our home, and you've grabbed a seat at our table, and we love that.
Yeah, that's great. So here's to all of you.
Yes, here's to all of you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Friday for another episode of Foodies Across the Pond.
Cheers!
Bye. Cheers!
This is lovely.